Hey, it's Bobby Rio, co-creator of Unlock Her Legs, and this video is called Which of these 7 behaviors is secretly killing your game? And we're going to go over what the 7 behaviors are, because I can guarantee that at some point you've probably made at least one, if not all of them. So if you're struggling to attract the type of girl you really want, not the annoying, slightly chubby girls that most guys settle for, then there's something important you need to understand. Here it is. It's easier to eliminate unattractive behavior than it is to become more attractive. Let that sink in because it's a game changer. Yep. The good news is that most of the time, just eliminating unattractive behavior is enough to put you over the edge with a girl. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, so here's an example. Back in college, I was extremely shy and a bit socially awkward at social events. In fact, I would get so far into my own head that I couldn't speak. I'd second guess everything I was going to say. So instead, I sat there like a mute the entire time, and girls would always ask me what's wrong? Are you okay? And when I did talk, I had thought about what to say so much in my own head that it came out forced and awkward. In fact, the more I tried to be funny, the more I tried to be cool, the more I tried to be interesting, the more lame and awkward I appeared. Then one day, my friend gave me a piece of advice. And it's a piece of advice I heard 1,000 times, but for some reason that day it sunk in. He said, don't overthink it, just talk. And sure enough, I gradually stopped overthinking what I was going to say and just said the first thing that came to mind. And sure enough, a few months later, I had my first girlfriend. Now, full disclosure, she was one of those annoying, chubby girls I mentioned earlier. But for me, hey, at that time, that was the best thing in the world for me because I had nothing before that. And if you're familiar with my scrambler, a lot of what the scrambler is based on is subtracting out the behavior she expects to create, the confusion and uncertainty which draws a woman in. But getting back to this, subtraction over addition means it's not about becoming better looking, funnier, or learning more powerful lines or techniques that you can use. Sometimes it's just about figuring out 1 or 2 behaviors that are making you appear unattractive. Appear is a key word. See, for me, when I sat there like a mute, I appeared awkward and unattractive. When I began to open up and talk more, I appeared more like a normal guy. So there are 7 behaviors that make you appear unattractive, and I'm going to go through them. So the first is being clingy. Clingy behavior is doing things like calling a girl too much, following her around at a party or a bar, not giving her space, always trying to make plans with her, or just generally being around too much. When you act clingy, girls start to view you as unattractive because they assume you have no other options. The second unattractive trait is being needy. Needy behavior is when you're out with a girl and you constantly need to reassure yourself that she likes you. And you ask, everything all right? Are you having fun? Or if you're in a relationship with a girl and you keep telling her, I love you, just because you need to hear her say it back. Girls get turned off by neediness because if you're acting like you're not sure if she should like you, she starts second-guessing herself. She's like, if he's not sure if I should like him, maybe I shouldn't be too sure. So the next is being unfunny. Being unfunny is when you don't recognize that your jokes aren't making anyone laugh. It's also when you come across as try-hard and the girl can sense it. This is so unattractive to girls because it makes you look socially clueless, and she assumes you're not used to hanging around with cool, fun people. Here's the next one, dressing bad. Now, this is self-explanatory, and I'm not a fashion expert, but I am smart enough to know that I have to at least try to appear stylish. It amazes me how many guys, they don't want to put any effort into wearing fashionable clothes. I can't tell you how many guys would just dramatically improve their success just by putting a little more thought and money into what they're wearing. Yes, girls notice, especially your shoes. The next behavior is being creepy. Now, I hate the word creepy because girls throw it around in such an ambiguous way, but here's a list of behavior that generally comes across as creepy to a girl. Staring at her too long before starting a conversation with her. Asking her personal questions too soon. Making ill-timed sexual references. Knowing things about her you should not know. Giving her the feeling that you stalk her out on Facebook. Standing too close to her. Getting in her personal space. See, creepiness is such a turnoff because it feeds into the fear that all girls have of being taken advantage of or forced into doing something they don't want to do, and that's not a vibe you want to give off. The next is being too nice. Yes, this is one that a lot of guys struggle with because it's counterintuitive. It's so counterintuitive that it drives a lot of guys crazy. It feels so right to want to do things for her, to help her, to compliment her, to be a gentleman, to be the perfect audience for her. Yet this sort of behavior creates a friend vibe that ruins your chances for creating sexual attraction. Now, I talked about this in one of my other videos, the number one friend zone mistake, about how when you try to present yourself as a boyfriend and show her all these good qualities, you actually wind up in the friend zone. The next is being too scared. Now, this is a big one, and I suffered from this one for a long time. I was too scared to talk to her, too scared to ask her out, too scared to invite her back to my place, too scared to go for the kiss, too scared to take her panties off. Here's the thing about being too scared or any of these things. It makes you seem inexperienced or unconfident. Now, the good news is that just not being scared has the complete opposite effect. It makes you appear experienced, confident, and attractive. So be honest with yourself. Which behaviors from that list do you need to eliminate? For me, at various points in my life, I was guilty of all of them. Yes, I now can freely admit that I've been the creepy guy. I've been the needy guy. I've been the overly nice guy. I've been the guy that dresses really bad. I've been all of them. The important thing is to be honest with yourself about which of these behaviors you need to work on or eliminate it. Now, here's something that will blow your mind. Other than physical appearance, which only plays a small part, being free of those 7 behaviors is what makes a guy attractive. Just not doing these 7 things make you appear very attractive to a girl. I want to tell you about a powerful seduction strategy, and it's called the Scrambler. It's a mind game that Rob Judge and I mapped out. You may or may not have heard about it. I mentioned it a little earlier, and I have a video below where you can learn all about it. And what the Scrambler essentially does is it takes a lot of these behaviors, shows you how to not only eliminate them, but be very strategic in a seduction, and lets you know when you can be nice, when to take it away, when you can be available, when to take it away, when you can show a little neediness and then take it away. Because here's the thing, sometimes when a girl senses something and then you take it away, it confuses her. And confusion opens up a momentarily opportunity for you to sneak in. So I'm not going to explain too much now. This video is below. You can check it out and learn all about the Scrambler. Hey, it's Bobby. If you like this video, make sure you hit the big subscribe button below. Every Wednesday, I release a brand new video on creating attraction, avoiding the friend zone, looking less desperate and needy, and more confident, high value, and masculine around the women you're talking to. Every video will include specific techniques and tactics that you can use immediately. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe.